As a blogger, I write evergreen post. I don't write post which is outdated after a month. So one change which I made is I removed the dates from my blog post. Now when I save, I'll just show you one example that how this works. So in this blog post, if you notice, I searched for something called recovering from Google Panda. In the first post, there is a date September 16, 2013. Second one have a date. Third one does not have a date. Fourth one does not have a date. And the fifth one is 2013 again. Now imagine when you search for anything, and if you are blogging from 3 years, 4 years, chances are your posts are dated as 2011 and 2012. As a searcher, if I'm searching in Google and I see your result and 3 other results, I won't click on your link because I'm sure that it's an outdated blog post. I have better option. In this case, what's happening that the date is not shown, so I would still give a benefit of doubt to these two, and I'll click on that. Now this one, you have to be careful because this one I recommend only for those blogs, those fashion blogger, food blogger, who are writing evergreen content. If you're writing content which gets outdated like news website, mobile websites, I suggest not to do this. About Apple as a brand. Right. This part is writing about Apple as a fruit. Right. A page, blank page I think it was. Apple is here. And I'm Google. Now I come to the page. How do I know which Apple you're talking about? Then you add something like, okay, Apple, iPhone. The moment you write iPhone, okay, then you're talking about technology company. You write about natural. You're writing about fruit. So more words like this you add, more relevancy increases. And this is called LSI keyword, which is very important. Now, what happens when you write longer content? You basically covers a lot of related keywords.
The longer your keyword is, it's much easier. Like he said, how to install WordPress on my server. That's a long tail keyword and it's easier to rank for. Another one is, if I try to rank for just install WordPress, it will be really hard, really tough in a way compared to the other one. So we go for the long tail keywords. And from a business point of view, from a business perspective, long tail keyword is more profit. Why? Because it's more targeted. The people who's looking for the longer query, like I type how to install WordPress on, let's say, Bluehost. So I would go for like a longer query, and from a business point of view, from the sales point of view, it's much beneficial.
You also gave a pretty interesting tip, which I've heard before, but the way that you presented was very compelling. That was the multiple Amazon affiliate relationships.
Right.
Most people sign up for Amazon affiliate in the US, but your suggestion was different. Tell me a little bit about that. What is the suggestion?
Right. So suggestion is, number one, you should sign up for Amazon affiliate program based on the country, the target audience you have. Let's say if I'm from India, and if majority of my audience are from India, then signing up just for Amazon affiliate US is not enough. I need to sign up for Amazon India, Amazon US, and if I have traffic from France or China, I should be signing up for those Amazon affiliate program. Now the problem here is this is one of the limitation of Amazon, like Amazon affiliate program, that they're country specific, right? So if you're coming from US, clicking on my link, and my affiliate link is from India, I will not get any commission.
Right, I will still get to my destination, but the moment I move over to US side,
I'll lose that. Exactly. So the solution to this is start using a geolocation targeting solution. There are many for WordPress. EasyAzon is a very good one. That's what I recommend. You can use that too.
And what is 3-minute rule? 3-minute rule is when you get a task, be it replying to an email, be it replying to a customer complaint, be it replying to a social media update. If it could be done in 3 minutes, get it done with. Finish the task right away. We are so used to delegate the task for later time. Like, okay, I'll do that later on. Stop doing that if the task could be done in 3 minutes. By just making this one quick change, you will realize that you are getting more done in a very short span of time.
Pocket Link or do domain age, content age matters? I think they do matter because the older your domain is, and if you have already built a lot of backlinks using that, it definitely helps a lot. New website might rank really well initially, but then Google kind of gives it little time to rank it, then it decreases the ranking and then it improves the ranking. I'm not sure why they do it, but this has been a talk between, there are two school of thoughts here. A lot of SEO feels that this is how Google works. A lot of SEO feels that this is not true. But to answer your question, do domain age matters? It does matter. I usually renew all my domain for 3 years, 5 years time as well, just to ensure that my domain, if it is one of the ranking factor, it gives the good ranking signal to Google. Content age matters. It does matter, but what really matters is the content freshness. Also at the same time, if your content is 3 years old, it might have gotten more backlink. If you have a new content which is pretty good, but if it does not have more backlink, it's bad. But at the same time, if you have a new content, but it has more backlink and it is better content than the older one, your new content might have a good chance to rank. The only time it might not rank is when you compare the DA, domain authority. If that factor is being considered, you might see a challenge with ranking.
Similarly, there are many more tools that you can get for free. And another question is, how do you get those kind of things for free? So very first thing, you write a good review of, when I say good review, you write an honest review, a detailed review of any product, any relevant product. Let's say you write a review of SEO tool. Then you can reach out to another company telling them, hey, hi, I'm Harsh from a particular blog and I review SEO tools. I want to try your SEO tools. Can I get a review account? Can I get a review subscription? Can I get a whatever it is? And then you can send them the link of your old review. So that becomes like they see the link, they see if you're adding some value to that, they will definitely give you the review account. One key point here, one key rule here is whenever you get a chance to work with any manager, any marketing manager, any affiliate manager, build relation with them. Create relation with them because these people are going to help you always. As in what do they need from you? They need more marketing, more promotion. What do you need from them? Up-to-date information, more products. And you can always get free products from them for the blog giveaways.
I have just one quick question to you. Like, suppose you want to quit your job, then what are the ways to go through being working all the time? Like, it's hard to give my time to my blog. So can you just give me some ideas regarding how can I do it and manage it?
Like after quitting your job or when?
Like while doing your job and to reach the stage to quit your job.
Right. So here is what I would have done because there are many different ways to do this. What I would suggest for you is while you're working, start dedicating time for your blog. Like maybe it could be as simple as 2 to 3 hours, because this is where you start getting the hang of. Because blogging may sound easy from the outside. It's not really easy. It's not tough, but you need to learn a lot of things when it comes to start making money. Start spending 3 to 4 hours or 2 hours. 2 hours is good enough a day. That is how I started. Spend that much of time every day and start growing your blog. The moment you reach to the tipping point in terms of revenue, let's say if you, from your salary you're making about 40,000 a month, and if your blog starts making that same amount or even the less, around 30,000, you can actually say bye bye to your boss.
Thanks so much.
How do I manage my time? I plan my week in advance. I use this technique called GTD, Getting Things Done, to plan my week in advance. My everyday is planned. So I use this tool called Todoist to manage my task. I feel that our brain is not designed to store things. It is designed to think about a solution. So a lot of time we waste our time by trying to remember things that, I have to do this, I have to do that. So to avoid that, start using a to-do list. Todoist is a free to-do manager that I've been using for a while. implement GTD, getting things done technique, to manage your projects, manage your life. I start my day early, around 6 a.m. I start my day with yoga, a bit of meditation. Then I start with writing, and I plan my day. So my all my task for a day is already planned in advance. So before I sleep today, I will manage my to-do list to ensure that I have 4 or 5 tasks for tomorrow. And when I start, I focus on those tasks, because if you don't do that, then your attention will be divided to a lot of other things which are not going to be useful. So planning to, if you plan early, you will be able to achieve it more. Another technique that I use is called Pomodoro technique. So I divide my time into 35-minute chunks. So for this particular session that we are doing, it's divided into two 35-minute slot. So this way I have about 10 to 15 slots throughout the day, depending on the day I'm working on. And then that's how my work is also divided. How to be a successful blogger? To be really, you have to define what success mean for you. Do you define success as money? Do you define success as fame, or do you define success as liking what you really do? For me, success means doing something that I really like so that I can sleep well in the night. And that kind of success comes when you're doing something that you really like, something that comes from your heart. Like when you're writing with the intention of writing to share. Always remember money, fame is the byproduct of what you do. That should not be your main aim, which a lot of people do. And you might be having a lot of money, but you will not enjoy, you'll not sleep well in the night. So define what success means for you, and it would be helpful. Doing micro niche will be great for future. I think it is definitely great, but you need to avoid the niche which are more likely to be penalized using EAT, expertise, authority, trust. If you're in a niche like, let's say, tech niche, but if you're on a very micro niche on a tech side of the niche, like for example decentralized finance, it's a great niche to be on. So that's definitely going to help you grow faster. Will it have a future? I think it will have a future. It can grow. You can grow it tremendously as long as you can keep building on this website. Just do not treat this as an affiliate website. Rather, treat this with the intention of building a brand, and that will be very helpful. What is the future of blogging in next 5 years? So blogging, in my opinion, is going to grow, but it is not going to be as easy as it seems, as it is now. Plus, blogging will also evolve to other medium like YouTube, podcasting. Different format would come in. It would be challenging, but this is the right time to get into blogging, because if you start now, you will be in tune with what's happening with the blogging as a industry, and then you can grow. Especially few niche which is going to be very challenging is the health, your money your life niche, like make money online kind of niche, finance. All these niche are going to be very challenging because of Google EAT updates, and there will be more such updates which will be rolled out. So you need to complement blogging with more skill. Blogging is not only about writing great content and it will work. Blogging is a mixture of writing plus marketing. So the marketing means how you will be marketing your blog, how you will ensure that your blog is seen by right audience. Now you need to master some of the marketing skill. It could be SEO, it could be PPC, it could be email marketing, it could be social media marketing. So you need to master certain skills so that you can keep driving traffic. Otherwise you will end up creating great content. You are a great writer, but you will not be able to drive traffic, and hence your blog will not see the daylight. And it's better in that case you become a paid writer for somebody else, or you become a expert writer and start writing on other platform and you make good money. That is also a great avenue of making money. But if you're just talking about blogging, you need to complement your writing skills with
marketing skills. You also need to level up your skill as a leader, where you can work with a team, because you'll be competing with a lot of big media houses, because as media houses understand that blogging is very profitable avenue. They are coming up with a team of like 100-200 people to start a blog. So you will be required to manage a team of 2, 3, 4 writers. So these are some of the skills that you need to have to ensure that after 5 years you become relevant. Blogging is going to be there, it's going to be in multiple format, but that's how you will be succeeding.